The first question that we have
Mm-hmm.
is,
Bring
can
it on.
being overly positive and optimistic lead to delusion?
Wow.
Hey.
Wow.
Mm.
Straight in
That's
there.
a deep question.
Wow.
That's a-
Okay.
Straight in,
Straight
you know,
in.
straight in. Just shoo. It's my deep in it. We just went straight into it, straight in. Alright, let's go. So, I guess I'll just start in it. I personally believe that being overly optimistic, being overly positive does not lead to delusion. Only because I believe that in this life you have to fight. You have to fight with every single thing inside you, right? And we have to fight so hard and so deep to just be okay.
No, you're right. Correct.
You know, and I feel like that's why things like, you know, the increase in coping mechanisms and just the seek for dopamine and a lot of things just to keep this life worth living. We all know that like in this life we're filled with so much negativity,
So much.
When you go on your phone, you know, you see the news, this person has been stabbed, or I don't know, like conservative.
Man, don't bring in the politics.
You know what I mean? Like, there's just so many things that like that we're just bombarded with, and I believe that like with the human mind and everything, we're not built to see so much bad news. And
Media and technology,
you know what I'm saying? And also,
yeah,
I believe that like, you know, back in the day and everything, I feel like things have always been going on. You know the phrase, "There's nothing new that's under the sun." Like, it's one of them things where things have been going terribly for so many years, for thousands and millions and quadrillions of years, right? But it's only right now in these small 20 years, right, that we've been exposed to so much that's really, really going around. So I believe it's even 10 times harder to even become more positive and, you know, and to remain optimistic and to remain hopeful about life, because you go on your phone and you see this, you know, and I feel like the mind is just overstimulated and there's too much stimulation in general.
Phones,
not even in terms of like the phone, but like even like the urban environment that we live in. You know, you come at your house, there's horns beeping, there's lights, there's everything. But then it's like, if you kind of go back to our nature and how we have been as human beings, we're just built to just be in nature. So the fact that there's so much stimulation, different colors, different lights, different everything, I feel like the brain exactly is so, you know, it's just
and on things
so
and everything, yeah, man.
That's real, man. So I believe that trying hard to be optimistic and trying hard to be trying hard to be optimistic and trying hard to be positive and everything, I believe that it doesn't lead to delusion, because you're literally just trying to survive and stuff. And I know that like people are going to be like, oh, but you should be realistic, because now you're kind of drifting away from reality, which I believe is a fear that a lot of us have. You know, like if I become too positive, if I begin to, you know, see the good in everything and not really see the bad, then I'm going to fly away from reality. But then sometimes that's what you have to do. You kind of have to fly away from reality. Like, it's not every day you must be in this reality.
That could be dangerous though. Slow down, okay?
That's real, man. I'm not even. No, you know what it is? I'm not even trying to like promote craziness.
You still have to be aware in that. That's just conscious.
But what I'm trying to say is that at the end of the day, we cannot, you know, be so into this world, because it will smash you up.
Bro, it will chew you up, man.
Well, making sense though. But I think as well, the external world, there's so much going on in the external world that I can't invite that in me. And I have to pick and choose what I want from the external world and what I can internalize. Because if you leave yourself open to like the news that we see, so it's like when you go on your phone and you see the news and everything, you just internalize how that makes you feel, and then you go and see this and you go and see this and you go and hear this from your friend, and you go and see this on television, and you go and see this on social media, and you go and see this, and you go in, you're digesting all of that, and you don't know what type of energies are even taking in. Obviously, we all know that words are vibrations.
Hey,
so we all
guru,
know that when someone is speaking negativity onto your life, or when you're seeing negativity, it can literally seep into your heart, and you become that vibration of what is literally around you. And that's why you have to literally, you know, I say protect yourself. You know, protect yourself, guard your heart. Even says it in the Bible, it says it in, you know, but it says in other, you know, self-development books and everything, and, you know, other religious practices as well. Do you believe in setting boundaries and protecting yourself from people, from things that we are exposed to the media, to a lot of things.
So they just don't like take everything in.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, it's not one of them things where it's like, because you know, like I'm being delusional, or, you know, I'm not trying to be in this reality. Who are you?
Hey, man. What? Come on,
who are you to
opposer.
be saying that? Oh, I can block myself from seeing the negatives of life. We don't live in la la land. It's not that, but it's literally just because you don't want to suck in everything that you're actually exposed to, because if you, but you're trying to create your own la la land, and that's like, and I think that's where the whole statement of you're living in delusion comes from, because you've created your own bubble, you created your own world, and and that could also lead to social isolation.
Okay, but if you
internalize everything that you see, hear, do, and everything, and then what you see and what you experience and stuff, and if it's not always positive, then you're just going to become like what you see and everything. Actually, you have to be realistic though. You have to be realistic. And nobody wants to be negative. So if creating your own little universe and if creating your own little world makes you feel happy, your own little world of optimism, your own little world of positivity, and if you have created your own safe haven in your mind and in your body, and then what you interact with and what you end up engaging with and everything, then I don't think that's being delusional at all. Well, just to play devil's advocate,
here we go. Always
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Alright, so what if you are just being delusional? Do you know what I mean? Like, what if you're just moving crazy?
Oh, wow. You're trying to start a fight.
But like, deep it down. What if you're just being crazy? You have to be realistic. You actually have to be realistic, because more time it's one of them things where being positive will not pay your bills.
Fam, you're on it.
People have to go to work. People have to, end up doing a job that they don't want to do just to survive. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, how can you be positive by doing that? Personally, I kind of feel like this whole you have to be positive mindset, is the mindset I believe makes people feel bad for being negative. Do you know what I'm saying? But sometimes you need the bad in order to actually experience and fully appreciate the good.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Because sometimes we need negative and positive, and that's just life. Obviously, about the whole balance, yin and yang thing, innit? And I feel like it's just this whole thing of like we want to create our own heaven, this and that, but we don't want to actually experience the badness of like this world. But sometimes it's the badness of this world that can really make you appreciate the good. Understand what I'm trying to say? Also, it's one of them things where if you see something and it makes you sad, then you feel sad. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't mean that just because you're being negative is a bad thing, because now you're putting too much pressure on being positive.
I don't even think
that's what I'm trying to say. True. And I know that being positive in that is always like glorified and it's always like appreciated and all that stuff in it, but it's one of them. But then I believe that like sometimes you need that source of negativity to make you appreciate the good, and you need the yin and yang, you need the balance. The same way that there's day and night,
up and down, black and white,
and obviously the same way that there's day and night, male and female, up and down,
all them things, man.
Right.
We feel you, man.
There's
get to the point, please.
To everything. You need the other to make the other thing exist.
Balance,
you know
balance, equality,
balance, things where and there's negative and positive electrons, there's negative and positive neurons, I don't know, there's negative and positive everything. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not even just emotions. What I'm trying to say is what I believe, what I think has happened is that human beings have emotionally attached themselves to positive and negative experiences.
We're driven by emotion,
and because of those things,
everything in it.
I believe that that's why when you go through something negative, it hurts and there's pain. Do you know what I mean? And there's like unnecessary pain that like that doesn't really need to like occur and stuff, because you have emotionally attached it. I think the art is really in letting go, becoming emotionally disciplined.
Hey, come and see.
Discipline. So that like instead of you saying, oh, why is this negative thing happening to me, or why am I why am I hearing all of this, or why am I taking all of this negative energy, it should be another thing where when you hear something negative, be like, what is this teaching me? What is this preventing me from? Because you're so afraid of, experiencing negativity that you will just stay in your house.
Not like that.
Just come and create your own reality and everything. But it's one of them things where you're going to experience negativity, but it's not about I'm not trying to say go
into a cave, man. You know what I mean, man?
It's about learning how to deal with it.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, just
when
deal
you're
with it.
So if you just try to avoid negative experiences, you're just trying to avoid it straight up. You're just trying to, not even, ever have that happen into your life, right? I believe that when that happens, you end up, living in delusion.
But you
are, because what you're doing is that you're saying to yourself that I'm going to create my own universe, I'm going to live in my own world, and then when I live in my own world, then I'm just gonna, I will never experience anything that's to do with negativity. And I believe and I believe that can then lead you to, things like anxiety, because you become afraid of negative experiences, but they are inevitable.
Because it's just the balance of life and that. Balance! Hey!
We live in a world of opposites. We live in a world of different, aspects and dimensions. We live in a world where you're gonna get the good and the bad, the left and the right, the up and the down, the boy and the girl, everything. We live in a world of opposites. Everything has its match. Everything has its opposites. Opposites attract. So positivity will attract negativity. Negativity will attract positivity, because without one, there's no other. Without a woman, there's no man. Without a man, there's no woman. Without up, there's no down. Because how do you know that up is there if there's no down?
Hey, minister. Please, you're talking too much. Next point, please.
I want to be living in my own world because everywhere's negative, this and that. No, you need to learn how to deal with that negativity when it comes to you. Develop
my
that
friend, your time is up. You've been trying for time. Yeah, what do you think? So what? You're just downloading what he's saying, innit?
I know what you mean, man. Do you know what it is? Yeah, I feel like it's just the whole thing of like you said, like we live in a universe of like just duality.
It's the word. That's the word I was looking for.
I feel like kind of taking from you both, yeah, it just kind of makes sense, because it's like in this world, we live in a world where, like you said, we get the bad and we get the good, And I feel like even kind of taking from you two and your points of views, we also need a balance from that as well. Like we also need a balance from that as well.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
That is cool. Like you have to block out the negative, because you're right. If you take in everything that you see, everything that you download, everything, then obviously eventually we'll go crazy, because our human minds cannot take in everything that we see all the time, because we're not built for that. Do you know what I'm saying? But then again, it's one of them things where we also then need to learn how to deal with those things when they come into our face. God says in the Bible that basically He is the good and the bad. He is everything. And then it also says that don't mistake, don't mistake a lesson from God as an assignment of the enemy.
Wow.
You're gonna need that part in you, like you said, to kind of push you. Do you know what I'm saying? Like for example, we don't really start looking for jobs and this and that, or we don't really start trying to get our money up until we're broke. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm sure like we've all been through one of them things where it's like when we can put a certain point in our lives and it's so negative, it's so terrible, it's almost like a storm, and then next thing you know, boom, you come out of it and then you're 10 times better than before you entered that negative part of your life. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? And my friend was telling me this and it just made sense. And in fact, our pastor said it. He said, cool, you see gold, yeah, obviously before, gold, I think in its purest form doesn't look like gold in its best form, or in
natural form. It's not pure and
it's natural. Like gold, it has to go, obviously, to make gold, you have to burn it at an extremely high temperature to get the purest form of that gold, or the best form of that gold, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, cool. So when we grab gold from it, like when it's found in the earth, in it, like in the mine, and then we put it in that was that thing.
I don't even know what it is, but yeah, that hot oven that they put it in gold. Yeah, I know what you mean, like diamonds. It's gold still.
Yeah, and then it's obviously at its highest temperature. That thing, do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So basically, as the gold goes in there, it's not in its best form. It's in its most natural, or is in the form that can be improved. As soon as it goes into that, let's say, chamber or in that oven to be risen to like the highest temperature, it's burning and it's burning and it's burning and it's burning. But as it's burning, as it's going through that pain, or as it's as it's being stripped off, it's now stripping. It's now stripping. Do you know what I'm saying? It's now stripping, like all of its impurities are now coming off. Every single impurity that gold naturally had is coming off in the temperature, in that high temperature. So sometimes we need to see that negative part in our life, or that source of negativity, or that negative season that we're in our life, or that negative season that we're in our life, right? As that form of stripping of any impurity, stripping of anything that that is holding us back, stripping of anything that that we can improve on. And as it's going through that pain, as we go through that that tough part of our lives, we will then come out in a better form, or in our best form, from that negative part
from
of
that
our life,
from that bad experience, or bad
from
thing,
that source of negativity. And like you said, actually, I proper rate what you said in it, like when you're faced with negativity, you need to think, okay, cool, what is this teaching me?
What can I learn from this? Like, how do I adapt above it?
Avoid it. Like sometimes it's that thing that's gonna actually teach you a lesson.
Yeah, or just sharpen you up in that.
When you go to the gym,
just start going again, man. Yeah, flexing the muscle, them. Yeah.
Like when you go to the gym, and and then you're pulling and you're straining. In order to build muscle, in order to get toned, in order to get that gym body, or in order to be healthy, you have to go through pain.
You're speaking. No pain, no gain type of flex.
The whole creation of goals, process. When you're at the gym, you're toning, you're shredding, you're destroying every source of muscle. It hurts, it's painful. But after that gym session, by doing that continuous gym session, you begin to become healthier.
Become fit, and like your body adapts and that stronger. And that,
So it's that negativity that you experience from the pain in the gym that is what would and that resistance, that is what would then eventually allow you to become a better version
of yourself.
A more healthier version, a more toned version of yourself. So it's one of them things where you need to have that balance. It's all about balance. It's like, okay, cool, you're going to be faced with negativity, but it's not just the enemy. It's not because the world is evil. It's not because we live in hell. And it's not because, this and that, but it's literally just because sometimes God wants you to go through that struggle. God wants you to see that certain thing. God wants you to experience that certain type of thing so that you begin to come out stronger, better, maturer. And you're also building resistance to a lot of things as well. So that's what I mean. Like, so it's obviously in this world we live in a universal duality.
Duality, man.
There's one thing to the other, but it's the other thing that helps the other thing. It's the good that helps the bad, and it's the bad that helps the good. Like I said, we don't really pattern up in life until we go through a bad patch. But sometimes God will give us that bad patch in our life so that we can grow up, so that we can mature. And even in relation to like seeing negative stuff in this world, it's like sometimes we can see negative stuff like the news and this and that, and I understand that there's so much stimulation in this world, but you just have to learn to build resistance, and that's how we're good. It's all about being adaptable, and I understand that. Okay, cool, like we're in nature,
like we're made to be like adapted to nature and that and everything.
We're natural and everything. Do you know what I mean? So we're supposed to be in nature, so we're surrounded by so much which can obviously overstimulate us and obviously mess up our dopamine levels and everything.
Yeah.
But then this is how we are just adapting as a species into this new world.
Right now, I feel I know.
You feel me? So I understand, man. I was saying, man. Yeah, man. I understand, man. I understand that the 2 points in it.
But actually, waffling. So in conclusion, do your thing in it. Yeah, you already know, man.
Done.
Yeah.